Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? This is Circle Media. I'm your co-host, Lep, followed by my beautiful or the server's beautiful host, Nisen.
What?
Hello.
Speak, bitch.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Alright.
Damn.
You guys are really messed up.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Yelling at each other.
I just called him a bitch.
Nah, but
Okay.
anyways, hey guys, welcome to the kind of an analysis of C12. Joining our host Nisen and Kaysar with us, and finally, for once, we have our other co-host Brandon. For once, he's actually joining us. If you guys want
I'm
to
not
say hi.
asleep this time. Hello.
Uh,
I'm awake. Everyone get claps. Woo, yeah. Clap now.
Brandon, come on, man. I think we should start off with the overall thoughts on the cycle. I feel nice. Come on, man. Are you actually eating, bro?
Yeah, dude, quit the fucking eating, man, you
Yeah, for
fat
real,
piece
man.
of
Come on,
shit. You big bloated motherfucker.
Shut the fuck up, obesity ass motherfucker.
Can you like get up from
This
your
is why-
seat without like falling, dude?
Yes.
Stop eating. Stop eating.
Yeah, for real, bro. Come on, Nisen.
Bitch.
You're supposed to be like nice and. Alright, at least tell us what you're eating. At least, come on.
Yeah.
I mean
Okay. Should we like take turns on like saying our thoughts on the
Japanese,
cycle or
Sure.
seaweed and salt.
Or let's throw out a general question for Nyson and Kaysar. Just like, from a host perspective, how did
Okay.
you enjoy the cycle, and what was your favorite moment from it? There we go.
Alright. My favorite like kind of part of the cycle.
Okay, you go first, big fat fucking eater.
I've been interrupting. Damn.
Bro. Oh, look at this fucker, bro. I'm skinny as fuck. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, my favorite part of Cycle 12 was being able to, also being able to like really interact with the players. Really, this is one of the cycles where the hosts were able to like interact more with the players and stuff, especially like lore wise, right? Where I was able to like really put in some expressions that consider like lore of the circle and whatnot. And that was my favorite moment, really. My favorite moment is like, I have to say, I don't know, somewhere around like the end game, really. Like all the players started getting like stressed out, so I started like taunting the fuck out of them. I think it was like the round where like I just like took off the nice out of the tag, like the nice devil. I just took like nice off. I was like the devil, alright, but
his favorite part is when he inflicts emotional damage.
So basically, you're saying you just
Yeah.
wanted to inflict damage on the players, and yeah, that's about it.
yeah, pretty much.
Alright, what about you,
It's you.
Kaysar? As a new host,
Okay.
what was you know?
Okay. As like the newest host on the squad, on the gang and shit. Okay, Leprum, shut the fuck up. First of all right. Anyways, let's move on. As the newest host of the gang and shit, I really like this cycle. I personally I gave my opinion a lot on this cycle, though I do think that it's one of the best cycles, and it's not like the gameplay we've seen was genuinely like really exciting or something that we like giddy up for, fucking jump in a circle like we don't really do that with the gameplay here. However, the thing that I like the most about this cycle is the players had fun and the players enjoyed this cycle in general. And I do think my favorite moment of the cycle isn't even like anything game related. I think it's the night that we bullied the shit out of Dennis. Like everybody in the circle collectively banded together and bullied the shit out of Dennis. And I just thought that was a pretty good representation on how fun the cycle really was to the people who were playing and the people who were hosting it and whatnot. So yeah.
So, talking about that, right? So this cycle felt for I mean a lot of us, it felt really refreshing to see
Yeah.
the cycle from C10 and C11 go from like super competitive and like players were just taking it super seriously to
Yes, sir.
just people laying back, having fun. So since this was like I guess a type of new strategy coming from old cycles, implemented into this new one, what were your thoughts on the winner? Did you think it took it too seriously? You know, he was like back or just in the middle?
I thought he was in the middle, and honestly, in such a perfect way, in my opinion. I really do feel like White Spider really didn't really care too much about rather his game, and really, I think he just was just fucking around and controlling shit, which pretty much was what's happening in the end game. You didn't really see a lot of emotional moments come out of White Spider, as rather you see other winners have.
Yeah, I would also. I would
So
agree
that's
with,
the thing that I really find White Spider's game unique. Pretty much. Let me finish, faggot. But okay.
Temp, we're gonna need.
You going, Casey?
I think we're
Okay.
done.
Yeah, dude, I was going. Okay. I think that makes his game really unique. And definitely compared to the more recent winners, I really do feel like White Spider kind of just played it out a lot more casually, and he did it in a way that he was still playing really good and not like giving zero shits about the game in general. So I really think that White Spider, the best part about his game is his balance between competitively and casual. Okay, you can
I agree. I agree with that take a lot. I don't think he was very like super emotionally invested at all, and I think that's a good thing because when you can detach your emotions from your gameplay, it allows you to make smarter and more strategical plays like half the time. Rather when you're playing super emotionally, your emotions might limit you from making certain moves. So I think it's cool to see someone like that who wasn't super like emotionally charged or emotionally invested, rather just in it to win, in a sense.
Yes, sir.
I agree with Kaysar in saying that like White Spider
right.
was somewhere like down the middle, because like compared compared with cycle 12 alone, he might be like considered competitive, right? Like he played the game hard, played the game like kind of like what a pro, like what a veteran would do, and he won it and stuff. Like compared to other cycles, like let's say like the more competitive cycles, like cycle 4, cycle 6, all that, like you played kind of like like around the same kind of energy as other people have.
Yeah.
I thought this cycle was amazing. We had like a mixed reviews from cycle 10, and then a relatively bad cycle in cycle 11, and then a relatively great one because like all the vets, the hosts, the alumni, the community got to stick in like 47 test subject hamsters and throw them in a cage, make them battle royale. We all had to have fun and watch it. It was great.
Dude.
You weren't even there for half the cycle, dude. What are you talking about?
Hey, who are you?
Hold
Anyways,
up. Break
talking
it
about
up,
that, right?
Jesus.
No cycle escapes its controversies, and this time we have had a couple of controversial players. You know, Miss Waterways, the GOAT, Mordemaier,
Or
and
Wait, say that again?
Mort
Meyer,
Meyer?
bro.
Wait, what did you say? Mort
Pause.
Meyer, what?
Mortimer.
How do you say
Morton
it?
Meyer?
Meyer,
Dude, you kidding me?
What? How do you say it?
Bro's inner Guatemalan is sneaking out, dude.
Bro.
Bro, I should have.
Mortimer.
This fucking
anyways.
this alien, bro. This alien, bro.
anyways,
Your
Mortimer
Lord
and Peter Franks. So, I mean, I guess you could, bro, you know, we have like memed about it like a lot through the whole cycle, but at the end of the day, I think that like, do you guys would agree that at some points he seemed more like a bigger player than most of like the mid game players? Like he had way more influence on the cycle than most of the mid players until like the end, where like everybody was like more distinct in a sense. So what are your
I
thoughts on
mean,
that?
in a way,
Um,
I do kind of agree that Mortimer definitely did have. Okay, I definitely had a bigger impact in terms of meaning. However, if you look at the gameplay, how many people base their games around Mortimer getting eliminated? Not many. And Mortimer was really, in my eyes, like a joke. I don't think anybody, or at least anybody who was watching, expected Mortimer to get past the final 40. Really, Mortimer was on bot time pretty much the entire time he was playing. So I think once Mortimer died, he was only used as a joke and rather not, oh my god, look what happened to Mortimer. I need to switch up my game. Because the problem with Mortimer was he didn't have any common sense. That was all you need to not be Mortimer. So pretty much is a big check off for a lot of the people who were playing. It was like, oh, I already have common sense. I know not to say fucking slurs in the circle chat. I don't think it had a big influence on the game, though I definitely do agree that it had a big influence on the jokes throughout the cycle.
Um, I wouldn't say that Mortimer was like influential to the cycle per se. Like he was like a major appearance, yes, but that's all there is to it, right? All he is like now he's like immortalized as a clown figure, right? But
Yes,
did
sir.
he really have like influence on the circle? No, he just taught everyone to like not do what is like in the rules is not allowed. He just did like what is not allowed in the rules. It's like he didn't really do anything like influential as really. We did like the most influence I would say is like kind of like setting up a vibe. Like this is like the circle, right? It's like new players. Like this is the circle. There's going to be bad apples in this, and like you're gonna have to deal with it. Really.
Right. So we
Yeah.
could like all agree that like I would argue that Mortimer like from his I guess his personality he kind of set the tone on the circle of being more of like a joke cycle, but like in a not in a good way by himself, but in a good way by everybody else, because like they were just like, oh shit, like we're just gonna like fuck around the cycle, and then if we see anybody like another bad apple like you said, we're probably just gonna boot them off. And I feel like that's a very important to the development of the cycle, at least. Oh, Mortimer.
I I definitely can see the fact that how what why is there a Mortimer? Fuck, dude. Okay, but okay, I just saw a Mortimer count created, but
Fuck the term.
Breaking news!
Okay,
First two
basically
players
though,
to see their being revealed.
yeah, Mortimer and Napoleon. All right, but back to the other Mortimer topic. I think in a way, yes, it did kind of got players to band together and be like, yeah, we don't fuck with that Mortimer character, and there was not much discourse on not liking Mortimer at all. However, though, I do think that there are other things that did play a bigger influence on the people playing it casually and not competitively. For example, I think Dennis had a pretty good influence on that. They were my fucking bad dude. They were pretty much shoving in a way shoving like the whole concept of, hey, let's all vibe down their throats. And pretty much I do feel like once they started like clicking right after like really tough vote discussions happen, they kind of all realized, oh wow, I don't really like doing vote discussions. How about we just avoid them and rather just fuck around until we have to talk about the voting. So I don't think Mortimer caused that, though I definitely do think that Mortimer did cause the entire cycle to like band together and be like, yeah, fuck this guy, kill yourself. So yeah.
Dude.
So continuing off of that, this cycle we saw one specific player that like I guess he was kind of a favorite, make it to the mid game, and then absolutely get destroyed mid game. And I wanted to talk a bit about Retro, and I wanted to get like your overall thoughts on why do you believe like his downfall, and since when did it start?
I didn't pay
The
attention
Rat
to
Man.
Retro.
The Ratman Retro.
The Rat Man. I think really I do think his downfall was sneezing joint. That motherfucker. Okay, but I think Retro's downfall, in my opinion, was I think it was rather a cast like taking a much safer route and just being like, oh wow, let's just fucking go for a threat because fuck it, YOLO, why not? I don't think the rap had much influence on it, but I do think that the cast really kind of trusted Laz in a way. Laz? Yeah, it was Laz. The cast really trusted Laz in a way, and I do think that as a result of the cast trusting Laz and not really wanting to deal with a Retro game, that kind of caused Retro to get the boot. So, yeah.
Wait, can you repeat like the first part of that? You kind of cut out for me.
Oh, what first part of like my whole spiel, or first part of the last thing I just said?
The last part that you said, just like the last bit.
So, while I do think, okay, so I do think it's a mixture of the cast kind of like being, hey, I don't want to deal with Retro later. I just want to, I just want to take a threat out, and it's also a mixture of the cast kind of trusting Laz to, be like, hey, this person promised that they were going to start, involving themselves more in the game, and they didn't. So I do think that they did have a sense of trust in Laz, so that's kind of why they, took out Retro right there.
That's fair. When I did a Retro interview, right? He said that his biggest downfall was that he basically said, I don't want to make any friends, and I just wanna, like, if you're playing this game to make any friends, you're not playing the game. Like, you should not have applied. What?
No, that was a fun take.
Right.
Well-
I mean, I have to agree. Like, I feel like most of us in here, like, at some point, we're like, yeah, I'm gonna play this game just to, like, meet some people, make friends, form some connections, and if anything, if I get the win, that's perfect, right?
Now, I remember a lot that was said a lot in C11. People were often like, "Yeah, I'm here to make friends, not here to win." But I feel like more often than not, it's more or less just kind of like a mask, like a cover, because at the end of the day, we all come here. It's an org. Like, I'm sure there are some people who came here to play and make friends, but like, even if you tell yourself that and like try to convince yourself that you're just here to make friends, like, you signed up so you could try to win. Like, that's just at a base level, everyone has this desire to win. Because you saw people who were like, "Oh, I don't want to win." Like, once they got close, like Final 10 C12, they started being like, "Oh shit, maybe I do." Like Jada, for example. Jada was like lacking at the beginning, 2 strikes. I don't really want to win, apparently, or that's what she said. But then when she got to Final 10, she started picking up like her game a lot more, and she started saying like, "Yeah, I actually do want to win this." So no matter what anyone says, like, "Oh, I'm just here to make friends," once the end is in sight, people like have this strong urge to try and get that win.
My first question is, you pronounce it Jada?
Yeah, me
Is it?
too.
Is it? Yeah, I
why-
thought it was
why-
Jada.
why-
'Cause
Jada?
Yeah, it's
She-
Jada.
I
What?
no, she's British. It
I
has
got-
to be Jada.
What?
She's
Well, no,
Nah,
it's-
it's Jada.
Is it-
No,
Jada, bro.
No, it's
Jada.
Jada. It's Jada.
Nah, it's
100%.
Jada.
It's
It
Jada,
has to
bro.
be Jada.
Hold on.
First-
We're
first-
gonna
Every
You got
Jada I've
Jada.
met in my life is pronounced Jada, not
No,
Jada.
you don't. What?
is Jada. Hold on, let me test if Jada's still awake. I don't think Jada's still awake. But this is okay. I was gonna ask Jada if it's pronounced Jada or Jada, but I guess that's a question we'll answer for later. However, though,
Even a question.
back on what Dumb actually said, I definitely do think it's very possible for strategies when you first head into the game versus when you kind of finish the game. It's very possible that they finish. Though I definitely do agree that not much people come in here with the only purpose of, hey, I want to make friends. Like this shit isn't like hang out and meet friends server, because then if it was called that, then it'd be totally understandable if they came to meet friends, because it's advertised as a way to make friends. But this is kind of advertised as like a game rather. So I do think that like by signing up itself, you are kind of acknowledging that, it isn't like a big place to make friends. However, though, I don't necessarily hate the whole mindset of, oh, I just want to make friends. I do think that a lot of people who were very loved in recent cycles, for example, France, kind of came into this cycle like, oh, I just want to make friends. I don't really give much of a shit about winning. So, and I think that's perfectly okay. It really just depends on how you go about it, I guess, and it really depends if you're just normal about it or an obnoxious asshole who like loves to fuck other people or over in attempt to, oh, I just want to make friends.
That's a pretty interesting take. I mean, gotta agree. I mean, I feel like, I mean, for me personally, like I said, I would honestly think that like most people come into making friends, but also I think at some point, like let's say around final 30, I think there's like when people start getting a little bit more competitive. Now that you're making all those bonds and you're like, damn, I think I could win this. And I mean, I agree at a certain extent. I also feel like people come in with the mindset that I want to make friends more than I want to win, since like the beginning all throughout the mid game, and then the mindset just switches.
Exactly. Yeah.
The inverse can actually also happen as well. Let's say like some people like they join here, like they say like, oh, I'm playing to win, right? And then like the more they get like connected into like the circle, especially for cycle 12, right? Since it was more of um like a friendlier cycle, right? Since like rookies only and stuff, people got like emotionally connected, like emotionally attached to the circle, and it's like, yeah, I will make friends out of this. And, like they switch up their mentality from like playing like strictly to win. It's like I want to like bond with these people and all that. Let's say like Sam, I think like Sam or maybe Reg, like some like finalists or some like end game people were like, I'm playing this game to win, and then like somewhere around like the final 30s 20s they're like things like, oh, I'm fucking I'm so emotionally attached. They feel like if they cry then I cry kind of stuff. If they're happy I'm happy. There's that stuff. Like a lot of people like they were like expressing their emotions to say like in both confessionals like and the circle as well. Like they were like like being like really emotionally with each other. So like really either or can happen, right? Like switching up mentalities.
hmm Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Right? Like one of the biggest examples I can think of is Anansi. Is that how you say it? Correct me if I'm
Because,
wrong.
well, I
Anansi,
also wanted to hit on the point that I said real quick. Like,
Anansi,
yeah,
bro.
there are some people who like made bonds who like instead of like as the game goes along, instead of becoming more like focused on winning, there are people who become so close with certain people that they dedicate themselves to potentially stepping. Like we saw that with Dale, I'm pretty sure in C11. I'm pretty sure she was like actually gonna step for Sylvia if they met on two together. So that's like an inverse effect. Like you see people who get so close with everyone else that they plan on stepping just to give somebody else the win.
Right, and just for like a more, like just to elaborate on that, like a more clear example of that was Anansi. I don't think they stepped. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at some point they were kind of just like, yeah, I made it far enough. I have like enough friends to like to make this experience worth it. So I'm gonna just like let them have a free round and then just give up. And I feel like that's really interesting because you waste, well, not waste, but like you use all this time, and then like the only goal is to win, and then you see all this like different type of players just getting attached to like all the people, and then just being like, even though I have like I have done this for 20-25 days, I think it's like my time to go. Not purely because like it's I'm not doing as much as I should, but because I've made enough friends, and I feel like that's a very interesting mindset to have later into the season. And honestly, I feel like if this wasn't like a non rookie season, I think we would um I think we will start seeing less of that as seasons go on, because I don't really think that after like a point you're gonna just start getting attached, because after you played once you already know how to experience that. So what do you guys think that like the current rookies gameplay would change based off of what they experienced in cycle 12?
I think this is a one-time thing. If I'm being honest, I feel like okay. The thing is I feel like Cycle 12 and the influences have is gonna be such a bad timing for rookies coming forward because you got Cycle 12, a cycle where people didn't really necessarily give too much of a shit and were just having fun. Then immediately followed up by an All-Star season where I can guarantee you at least half of the people are gonna be fucking neckbeard sweating this shit. So when rookies come in and the most recent cycle is All Stars, they're gonna fucking see Cycle 12 and just throw it out the window. And rather just, hey, I'm gonna take inspiration from the All Star season because that's where all the good people are. So I really think that Cycle 12 it might honestly be a one-time thing, and I feel like rookies won't really give much of a shit about it moving forward after All Stars.
That's right. Like, rookies and then all stars back to back. Jesus. Do you have any kids or do you have like any predictions on C13 players, well, C12 players that we may see in C13 that is not like, White Spider?
Okay,
already-
Nisen, you're not allowed to speak on this.
Right.
Okay, so I think okay, obviously White Spider. Honestly, I do think that Jada should get in. I'm not sure if Jada will get in, and if she does get in, I'm not sure if she accepts or whatnot. Though I do think that Jada should get in. Who the fuck? Oh,
Snoozing.
I was just snoozing was just listening in.
okay. I do think that Jada should get in. Yeah, snoozing heard me snoozing heard me talk good about Jada. I was like, nah, fuck this, I'm out. But so to get in, as I do think she played a very phenomenal game, and I do think that Rec, Flace, and
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know if they would cast both Sam and
yeah,
Dennis.
the thing is, that's my next point. I think they're gonna leave out Dennis.
Yeah.
Well, either one has to be left out due to,
Or actually, no. I'm gonna just argue for the sake of arguing. I think they're gonna do Dennis and not Sam.
I think I agree with that take, honestly. I feel like
Yeah,
Dennis has a better chance of making it than Sam.
And I was very vocal about how I thought Dennis was the better player of the duo back when the cycle was still happening. So I could
honestly,
see Dennis.
I could see Dennis. I say one of Sam or Dennis. I personally thought that Sam played better, so I just picked Sam over Dennis. But yeah, it could really go either or.
What if it's
Though
not?
I do think that there's a lot of like
What if
toss
it's
up,
both?
especially like Nice and shut your fucking
Okay,
mouth.
so it's
Both.
not both. Okay, so
Both.
it's not both. We know that now. It's not both. Thank you, Nyson.
What if it's none?
Yeah, what if it's none? That's true.
But I mean, wouldn't we argue that there's people like on the lower half of the game? Well, not on the lower half, but on the lower top 10, I guess.
Okay. Also, I do want to say, yeah, I think we could see,
Trap.
maybe Luke, maybe Luke, maybe
Luke?
That's a
maybe
hot take.
Retro.
That is a hot take right there.
I think
Alright.
Retro is a good chance.
Luke, man.
I think Retro is a good chance.
Flaming
as
hot
well.
take, man.
Even Rec for sure.
I think I don't think Steve is gonna come back for All Stars. It'd be cool.
Boo.
What are we talking about?
But I think the most raw players of every cycle have a pretty good chance. So like that being Sergi from C11 and obviously Retro from CD12. So I think Retro is a good chance.
Well, what about what are our thoughts on? I'm gonna drop 3 names right here. Well, my personal favorite, Penguin. Second, Trap, and third, Guesting Flame.
I don't think. Okay, I think I can see maybe Penguin having a chance, but
I don't
don't
see Penguin getting in.
I see maybe out of those 3 he's the highest, but I don't see Trap or Guesting Flame coming back. I really don't.
Like I'm not even gonna like name names here though. I've like literally been confirmed that like there's like a few people who were probably much better than Penguin who didn't even get an in.
Oh, that's interesting.
So there's no fucking way Penguin's anyway. Guesting Flame? Yeah,
That's conspiracy right there.
I ain't no snitch though. I ain't no snitch.
People are communicating to each other.
I ain't no snitch though. I ain't no snitch. So
Hey, good thing this is coming out
Okay.
Alright,
we're
so
gonna
Kaysar not in C13? Kaysar
we
not
are
in
going to remove like half the player. We're gonna remove the suspects real quick, bro. We're gonna weed out the suspects. We're gonna
Yeah, no,
delay cycle 13
I
until someone presses up. Like, what the fuck,
so
bro?
you won't get that out of me. But
Mm.
okay. However, I do think that Guest and Flame gets in there, mainly because of I do think that I think it comes down to when there's like tough decisions. I do feel like the host probably would pick if they think the person would do better in the next cycle than the other person. So if it's Penguin versus Guest in Flames, who do you think would do better in like a whole new cycle?
I think
Fresh
I
start.
think Guest and Flame definitely, that's a good point.
Wait,
But
can
I
you say
also
that
do
again?
want to hit on the fact that Guest and Flame, like I don't know. I don't think they'd be brought back for an All-Star season, given the fact that they like kind of just like I think Bill started that Steppers were allowed to come back, but regardless of them giving up in a way, or sorry, Guest didn't step, but they just kind of gave up, right? Let's start there. Yeah, Guest didn't step, right?
I don't think Guest stepped.
Yeah, I thought so. But like, Guest kind of just gave up though at that point, and they didn't really like defend themselves. I feel like that kind of lowers their chances of playing again.
I mean, I think that's very subjective because if we look at a lot of people, you can argue that they also gave up in their games. Like France never stepped, but we can clearly all agree
Yeah.
that France gave up
Well, I also do want to argue
at
that
some point in
France's
the game.
impact, is much larger than Guest's impact.
I gotta agree. I mean, here's the thing, right? France, the reason France gave up is because of like, well, I mean, a bunch of different reasons, but I feel like we can all agree that even if she still gave up, uh, after like she survived those two next boats, she was kind of like starting to quote unquote try again. She was still on the whole thing of like, oh yeah, I'm a step, oh yeah, I'm a step, but even if she was like still in that type of thing, she still kept like trying and trying, little by little, and then until her demise.
I thought personally when France kind of like was like pulling out Google Dots saying, "Hey, I'm gonna step." I do think that she lost a lot of the respect from a lot of the players, and I do think the reason kind of why France went as far as she did, even after going like, "Hey, I want to quit," is people just want to bring her far because they know if there's one person who will step for them, it'll be France. So.
I also do want to mention that, like, yeah, when people
that's kind of the way I see it with how.
Yeah, like she's what you'd call like a doormat, really.
No, like it's the same way. Yeah, like a super social player that people want to bring. And I guess like another example I can somewhat use is Sylvia from C11. Like she didn't want to step, but her being so high in the leaderboard was like somewhat like almost like okay, she has to get voted out at some point, right? Like that's what I thought. So and she was really social, so I brought her far, and then it didn't happen. But like when someone you see someone who's so social, like that, you want to bring them further because it'll be easier to take them out in the end, especially if they want to step like France did.
Hey, but hey guys, we're getting off track. We should probably go back to C12.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, honestly,
Well, it's good to compare and contrast, like
no, for sure, but
cycles with their cycles.
what are some criminally overrated players, underrated players in C12 so far, or what are you guys thinking?
Overrated?
Underrated.
Okay, I'll let
Underrated,
Nisen go first.
No, I need to check the cast list really.
Okay. So I think one of them is Jada. I think wow, surprise. I really do think that Jada is a very underrated player, and I think I've said this a lot of times, but I do think that how she got all the way to as far as she did, because if I'm being honest, Jada is pretty much like a little bit nicer version of fucking Logan. And the fact that she was pretty much able to make it far and almost even win in a way, I do think that Jada is very underrated in that sense. Another player, if I'm looking down the list from cycle the 12th cycle, there's really not many underrated people. I feel like a lot of people got
Yeah, I'm looking
the
at
place
it.
that
It's
they
like,
deserve.
man.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could have seen JP do better, and I guess I guess Bella's elimination was like a little bit unfortunate, but
You're right. I agree.
Bean.
Levine,
Dude,
Well, I
oh
think
my god.
in a rookie cycle, the people that did shine, that was recognized. I feel like because we're all looking to
Yeah.
see who's going to do the best, and I think
yeah.
we would have. If anyone was really, really underrated, we would have seen.
So I mean, I don't know. I think Mortimer got a pretty good shot of
All
taking
stars.
that underrated word. Yeah, taking the underrated shit because everyone would be like, "Oh, Mortimer was so bad." Okay, well, kill yourself. No.
Bro, you can't say that.
I thought no, okay. Who the fuck is Elephant Stone Honeybottoms? I'm just reading the cast list,
Dude, I love that name. The longest name we've ever had.
and I was like super involved in the cycle. I was super involved in this cycle. Who the fuck is Elephant Stone Honeybottoms?
Elephants
dude?
and honey bottoms.
Oh.
Woo! Definitely a C13 pick.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
So, if you guys could have picked anybody other than let's go with anybody other than the top 10 to win, who would you pick from C12?
As a heck,
As
so no.
I'll say Pollock.
Pollock.
Pollock,
Ooh, that's a
like,
good choice. That's a really good
That's a
choice.
really good
Actually.
choice. That's a really good choice.
Like Pollock I'm pretty sure he has experience from other cycles, right?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he does like other circles, like not from the year. Like he has experience with other circles. He knows like he knew what he was doing, right? I don't think it just didn't really play out the way like he would have liked. Obviously, like he probably would have liked to win, but like yeah, it just didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be a very cold take, but I think retro.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
No, that's fair. I feel like Retro had
Yeah.
the right mindset. Through the
Well,
season, just bad
here.
execution, in my opinion.
Here, I'll drop your cold take to below freezing temperatures. What about
Yeah.
Doe?
Bro,
All right.
no.
Dude,
I knew you were gonna say that. I was thinking about it, but no.
Doe showed so much promise before they fell off the face of the earth.
Yo, Brandon. So I don't think anybody in this call knows who Doll is except for you, bro. Like, I'm sorry, man, but
Dude, no, okay, Doe was 39th boot, okay, but Doe just I think their account's deleted now. Like I think they deleted their account.
Yeah.
Wait,
But,
wait,
like,
so. What was the profile picture? What was the profile picture?
It was
was
like
like-
a object community thing.
Yeah, it was I think it was BFDI Woody.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah,
They
because
deleted their
no,
accounts.
okay. The reason why I think they were playing like good at the beginning because their comp was super active and they were like updating their comp a lot, planning out shit, like talking game, and like I was invested in that. I liked that, and they just fell off the face of the earth, and like. I genuinely think if Doe didn't just like fall off the face of the earth, they would have placed higher, like a lot higher.
We're talking outside the top 10, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Doe had a lot of potential.
If this game ended outside the top 10, like aliens come to Earth, I gotta play for die, bro. I'm picking Mortimer 10 out of 10.
Mortimer.
Ooh.
Bro, he the go.
Jimmy Mortimer.
No, it's Mortimer.
I want him on my.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, okay,
Mortimer, dude.
I feel like
Why do you no? First off, it's
Mortimer.
Mortimer. Wait, who said Mortimer? Who said Mortimer?
Rod.
Oh, I thought it was dumb. Okay.
No, I
what
said
the-
Jada. I said Jada.
No. Okay, yeah, no. What the fuck is up with both of you? Fucking Rod saying Mortimer and Dumb saying Jada,
No,
dude.
Jada
like,
makes
They
sense.
both are so bad. I don't
Jada
know.
is a common pronunciation.
Does your brain work?
Hey,
Yeah,
Then it
Yes.
was
like-
like, fucking-
Yes.
then it was like Rod, like
Yo,
he was saying
yo,
like
chill,
Peter
kids.
Friend.
Weird.
Nah, but for yo,
Right.
with my, I mean, I guess this is a hot
But
take,
I mean,
yo,
but I
bro,
mean, hey.
look, here's my take, right? I feel like
Okay, hold up. Also,
What's
I
up?
want to point out real quick. We're not alone. Me and Rod aren't alone. Before the call started, Lep called Nisen Nisen. So, fuck you,
Okay,
Lep.
well that's a common. That's a common.
Yeah,
That's
literally
common.
half of the people listening to this probably do that.
Nyson gets called Neeson like all the time though. So I
Nyson
mean,
and Neeson are the same
Then,
thing.
then how was Jada? How was
Because
Jada?
Jada sounds weird.
yeah,
Nah,
okay,
nah,
no.
nah,
Who-
nah, 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 nah.
Who says
weird.
Jada instead
Yeah,
of
for real. Who's like, oh my god, Jada?
Alright,
It's an
yeah.
actual name. That's the
Jada?
thing.
That's my
Like,
question.
Everyone knows.
what
how to
Jada
pronounce
Pinkett?
Jada.
Okay. Do you call her Jada? Do you call Will Smith's wife Jada Pinkett Smith? Like, no, dude.
Huh?
You joined. Can't wait to see you. Anyways,
Jada.
I mean, going back to the winners. If anybody from the top 10, I would, dude. I honestly think that if Hessa wasn't like the guy to be like, oh my god, I don't deserve Tony is to like first place, dude. I'm sorry, but I feel like Hessa could have made it extremely far and could have potentially taken out the crown at the end. That's my take on that topic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like anything can happen, really. And
Yeah.
like he like
Yay.
made a blunder and got like appropriately like punished for it.
right,
Yeah,
right.
so,
He
like,
made like one mistake and that just ruined his circle. bro.
Wait,
Dead.
who are we on right now? who are we on?
Hessa.
Yeah, I think I deserve places 21st through 11th.
No,
be
I feel
honest.
like every time everybody read that, like, freaking that just became a staple of the cycle.
Yeah,
even-
that's like the motto of the cycle.
right. We even had like
That and Ha Cha Cha.
dude, we even had like Anansi make like a drawing of just like Hessa saying the thingy and then everybody with the skull emojis. And then I think like everybody was just laughing about it in spec chat. So that's probably gotta be my favorite moment from the cycle.
Hell yeah.
Just being like that over dramatic. Just I don't deserve this placement to this placement, and then just like getting absolutely destroyed in the next
That sounds like redacted, bro. Okay,
Hell
so
yeah,
that sounds
brother.
like redacted, bro. You should have cast
that sounds like
redacted to
sub
this
for redacted. I'm sorry.
Oh my
No,
God.
man. They were talking about pulling out. They were talking about pulling out the
Like,
lawsuits, eh?
they-
Like,
bro, he made influences on the circle, bro. He really did something. He made
Yeah.
a rule too. He inspired a rule to be made. Like he is a pioneer, truly.
Wait, who did?
Redacted.
redacted.
I have no clue. Who that
Yeah,
is.
redacted. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
that,
redacted.
oh.
That
Yeah,
player.
yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Who the fuck is redacted?
Yeah, hold on, be right back. I gotta go carry
He's
your
a
question.
Yeah, hold on,
fucking
hold on.
in between.
Where's your American
Are you guys talking about that one person who didn't want their name on any record?
No, Brandumb, just look up. There's just like literally a role called redacted. That's
Is it a role?
Yeah, it's a role.
Hold on, where are the lyrics to that, Carol? Hold on.
No, but anyways, is there anything you guys want to talk about a little bit more in like
Okay, I'm back. Where are the lyrics to that, Carol? Hold on.
No, Kaysar, you can't sing in our podcast.
Okay.
That is not allowed, bro. You
Dude, no. Well, what do you mean I can't sing in the fucking
Yo,
podcast,
we
dude?
got-
Fuck
we got-
you.
We got
Wait,
Kaysar's
what?
Got
Oh,
Talent,
I'm
bro.
back,
We
I'm
got
back.
Kaysar's Got Talent for a reason, right?
Yeah.
You should probably make an appearance in your own thingy.
Okay.
Is there anything you guys wanna?
What have I come back to?
No, I don't really got shit to say. Cycle 12 sucked, low key. I'd fuck up anyone there, low key. Like, fucking drop the Addy, dude. I'd pull up,
Honestly?
Okay, Org Legend, whatever you say.
kill them.
One last thing I wanna talk about.
Org Legend is wild.
Wait, one last thing I wanna talk about real quick is the fact that like, at some point I saw the freaking, dude. I swear to God, I saw the host way more than the players at times, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I wonder which host you're talking about.
So single-handedly ruined C12 for everyone.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Kill yourself, alright, dude? Like, your life has no worth, alright, dude?
This
Well,
is
Literally nobody
Okay,
loves you. Not when you
no,
go
no,
server,
no,
not
no,
anywhere.
no,
You go
no,
IRL. You got nobody who loves you, dude.
This
Like,
is a PG channel.
oh.
Chill.
dude, what kids are in here, dude? Fuck them kids.
you're
Oh,
alright,
what
dude?
is the
Like,
wait? What is the name of this channel? Anyways, what is the name of this channel?
Yeah,
Come on,
it's
say it out
called
loud,
Tummy
say it out
Amy
loud.
Tummy, dude.
Say-
Hey, whoever
We're
made
gonna
that
name
rule is
this.
super weird. Nah, but anyways, guys, I feel like that's gonna close out our podcast for today. Thank you, everybody,
No, it's
for
not.
joining.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it
No,
is.
we're not done yet. Fuck
No,
you.
no, 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 no,
No,
no,
no,
no.
fuck you.
Okay.
Can I
Hey, what? Talk then.
can I end it off with me caroling?
Nah, wait, chill. Yeah.
I said caroling, like Christmas caroling, like all I want for Christmas is you, like that shit. What?
Thank you, bro.
We still got different things to talk about. I'd like to mention a question I have real quick about C12. So let's say this
Spit it
cycle.
out.
Bro is not
Hold
prepared.
on, fuck you. I'm spitting it. I'm fine. Okay, what if okay, how do you guys think this cycle would have played out differently if White Spider never played? Because I remember Bill mentioned that White Spider was 1 minute away from like not accepting the invite or whatever. So given that, if White Spider actually didn't accept in the end, how different do you think this entire cycle would be? Because White Spider influenced a lot.
To the end.
Not much. Low-key, not much. If I'm being honest.
Sam and Dennis would have made it to the end. I think that's my take on it.
Yeah, I do think that like the ending would be like different. Like Sam. I do think that
Oh, yeah,
Jada would also be a lot
Keep in mind that Flace also knew about the
less active and
What?
whatnot.
He knew?
Though, if
Yeah.
I'm being honest, though, I think I think there would not be that much of a change if I'm being for real.
I have to agree. I mean, I feel like the only chisel would be, I mean, even if Lace had the, even if Lace knew, he didn't really do anything much about it. Like, White Spider was the one that like did it. He was the one that like
Well, I
exposed
think
it.
Yeah.
Flace was planning for Final 5. That's what it seemed
Okay,
like to
but
me.
did he? He didn't.
No.
So I don't think he would have played different. He would have probably just stepped again. Like like I said, I think only Sam and Dennis would have made it a little bit further, and I think Jada would have gone a third. I think that's my take on it.
No, I could see the final two in that scenario being Flace and Jada.
Nah, no way.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. Because Final 5, it's like Rec,
Twizzy.
Jada, Flace, CM Dennis. Flace
Maybe.
reveals the little pregame.
I'm
Probably Dennis goes, and then Sam goes again, and then Rec probably.
on gay.
Yeah, thank you, Kaysar, for the support. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Really, all you would have like really changed, like let's say final
But,
5,
10,
final
5.
6. No. I'll say like 7, 6, 5.
Okay.
I saw like if he wasn't there, like the places of what everyone else got like would be like different, right? Like swapped or something. Like that's about it to me.
You're Filipino.
Because
Shut
I
the
mean,
fuck
yeah,
up. You're
in
Jewish,
terms of
shut
like
up.
early game influence, it didn't seem like White Spider had a lot of influence in the earlier parts of the game. It was towards the end when it started happening, you know, like when he actually started stepping up his game and having more influence on the votes and everything. But in like the first half of it, he really just wasn't that impactful.
Yeah.
Anything else, Brandon?
What?
Hey man, I'm honestly dry out of questions, bro. I think this is all on you at this point.
Yeah, nah, dude. I've been holding in a shit old podcast, and it's starting to come out a little bit. We need to wrap this up quickly.
Yeah, I agree. I think thank you guys for joining us on
Hey, I want to have one.
Hey, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
Nice.
Yeah.
What's up?
Dude, hold on. How about we all say goodbye individually because we can't say it together without fucking arguing.
No, Nyson is saying something.
Okay, say it, bitch.
Okay, bro.
You gave me my heart. You gave me